Lakers Nation, what is going on? So today we got some very, very horrible news if you're a diehard Lakers fan like me. And to be honest, guys, I was going to make a video on it, but I had to report it because it's a Lakers channel and the offseason has been dead. But according to The Athletic, Shams Charania, Tony Jones, and Anthony Slater, it's been reported that Utah Jazz superstar player, power forward slash center, Lauri Markkanen, is expected to agree to a massive, long-term contract extension, and he's planned to be signed tomorrow or even maybe later this weekend, making him ineligible to be traded for the entire 2024-25 NBA season. So this is going to be another collection of stars that have been linked to the Lakers, and it really sucks, but it just is what it is. The NBA is a business, and sometimes things are just not going to go your way. We're seeing the same story with Kyrie Irving. He was a long shot, and never happened. Also, DeMar DeRozan, a few years back, we thought we were going to get him. He thought himself he was going to be traded to the Los Angeles Lakers, but of course, LeBron James, the captain, and Anthony Davis wanted Russell Westbrook, and until this day, really bothers me because it set us back for years, and it was just a horrible trade. The team just wasn't constructed very good, and we gave up some picks and some players and assets and stuff like that. So I'm very frustrated about that whole situation. We were supposed to get DeMar DeRozan, and he's a homegrown kid from Compton. He went to Southern California, USC. He grew up a diehard Lakers fan. I mean, a diehard, Lakers fan, a Kobe Bryant fan. And then this summer, he was linked to the Lakers in a trade back in the trade deadline February 8th. Instead, this summer, we had a golden opportunity to get him because he was a free agent. And it really came down to a living situation. But the Lakers, they didn't want to do a sign and trade because they were going to offer him $13 million, especially LeBron James wanted to take a high pay cut, $20 million for a top-level player like a Jonas Valanciunas, a James Harden, a DeMar DeRozan, a Klay Thompson, and of course maybe Buddy Hield, but those guys are just off the table. So it is what it is, and the Lakers have to move on. The Atlanta Hawks, I'm not really sure what they're going to do with Trae Young. Are they going to keep him? Because they're willing to trade one of their star players, and they already traded DeJounte Murray to the New Orleans Pelicans Western Conference team even before free agency. And pretty much, if you ask me, I think they should trade him. The rebuilding, they obviously still have Jalen Johnson, and there's a reason why Clint Capella has been in trade rumors, right? Because the Knicks, they're looking for a center, and the Lakers are looking for a center. So at least we've been active, and I know the Lakers really haven't done too much other than drafting Dalton Connect and Bronny James. We've been the only team that has decided outside free agent. We brought some assistant coaches on J.J. Redick's coaching staff, and they just announced it yesterday or today that the Lakers are already set with their assistant coaching staff. So it's very frustrating. Are we going to get Colin Sexton? Are we going to get a Walker Kessler? Because it's been reported that the Jazz, they want 2 first-round picks. I believe 1 first-round pick or 2 first-round picks for Walker Kessler. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Knicks offered 2 first-round picks, and the Jazz rejected it. So if you ask me, I think that's actually crazy. You do it for Walker Kessler. I know he's young. He fits your timeline. But, the Jazz, they're really not competing. They're at the bottom of the barrel. If you ask me, they're not like one of the worst teams in the league with the Washington Wizards or the Detroit Pistons, but they're still a bad team. And especially if they do sign Lauri Markkanen to a contract extension, they're still going to be in the same position that they were last season. I know there was a point in time in the regular season that they had their moments, they're red hot, but they still fell apart. So for the Lakers they got to be patient. They got to do the due diligence. Hopefully we get a player in Jeremy Grant, because I know the Blazers' asking price has been, crazy, horrendous, and I cannot stand Joe Cronin because he's an idiot. But the asking price is high. They want 2 first-round picks for a guy who they signed to a contract extension, very hefty, in Jeremy Grant. He's not even worth that. I wouldn't even give him 1 first-round pick, and I'm just being nice. I was willing to give him 1 first-round pick, but at the same time, I don't. But just as what it is because of the Lakers tax and stuff like that, no one really wants to help us. And also, it's been reported earlier today that Anthony Irwin, or whatever how you pronounce his name, from Lakers Daily and stuff like that, that teams don't really want to help the Lakers. They see GM Rob Pelinka inept and desperate to improve this roster, but looks like we're going to have to overpay. But hopefully the Lakers can wait till training camp and the asset price will go low. Maybe you give up one first, or maybe you don't. Give up some seconds. So we'll see what happens. I just wanted to update you guys because I thought this was very interesting. And, Lauri Markkanen was maybe a long shot. Probably not. Wasn't really realistic. And to be honest, you can actually swap D'Angelo Russell's $18.6 million for Lauri Markkanen if you wanted to. But that's not really realistic. You can do it on Fanspo if you look it up and just go on Google. But realistically, the NBA is a business. You're probably going to have to match salaries, include some picks, and include some players. But we'll see what happens. And he's still young. He's 27 years of age. He's in his prime. He's 7 foot tall. He weighs about 240 pounds. And he did play 55 games out of 82, which is a concern because he is injury prone and he can't really stay healthy. And who says even if we get a Lauri Markkanen on our team, is that a championship? Is that the answer? Because he's not proven. He's never been in the playoffs, I don't believe. Even when he was on the Cleveland Cavaliers or the Chicago Bulls, they weren't even good. And when the Jazz traded Donovan Mitchell, Lauri Markkanen was a part of this trade. So maybe it would help, but who knows? He did average around 23.2 points per game, shooting 48% from the field, 8.2 rebounds, very good rebounder, 2 assists, 0.5 blocks, 0.9 steals, and shot 39.9% from 3, which is actually incredible on 8 attempts per game, and 89.9% from the free throw line. So he's still solid, very good superstar player, and he averaged around 33.1 minutes a night. Now, you've seen what Anthony Davis did at Team USA with Bam Adebayo with the Miami. Of course, we're not going to have Bam, but I would say he's a better defensive player than Lauri Markkanen. Lauri Markkanen's probably the better offensive player, but you've seen what Anthony Davis can do and just roam in the paint and stuff like that. So we need somebody like Lauri Markkanen. We're probably not going to get that, especially in the trade market, especially if he does sign that contract extension with the Utah Jazz. And he's making $18 million, right? How about a Walker Kessler? Because he's making less money, and it's not as much, but the picks is a concern because there's no way in hell I'm giving up 2 first-round picks for a guy who's not even worth that. And he's still solid. He's one of the best shot blockers in the NBA behind Victor Wembanyama. I mean, he's very elite, but he can space out the floor a little bit, but he's not really known for that. And he doesn't really score a lot, but he's very good at rebounding, give us offensive rebounds, which the Lakers did lack this past season. We also need some 3-and-D guards, 3-and-D wings. We need a center. So we need to fill out the gaps that we have in this roster because there's some holes. And hopefully the Lakers don't win it back, because if they do, I'm going to be very frustrated, and I cannot take another season of D'Angelo Russell and having the same backcourt of Austin Reeves and D'Angelo Russell. It's just not going to work out. So we'll see. This was a long rant. How to make this video for you guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Really help the channel, the algorithm. That way you guys can comment, share, do all that good stuff. Also subscribe. We're on the road to 3K subs. And lastly, turn on notification bell so you guys get notified for future Lakers content. And one last thing I got to say before I end this video off. Usually when guys are intending to sign a new contract extension, they'll sign it, they'll get their bag, their money, and then they request a trade. But in this case, he can't even get traded because he'll be ineligible for the entire 2024-25 NBA season, even if the Lakers engage in trade talks, which they wouldn't be able to because they can't. So it is what it is. It gets very frustrating. And it's just going to make me more upset, more pissed if I continue to talk about this. But let me know in the comment section what topic you guys want to see me talk about, because the offseason has been dead and it's been very quiet for the Los Angeles Lakers. One of the boringest offseasons I can't even remember, but for a very long time. And I'm out of here. Peace.